everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I want to do a little hypothetical scenario. I want to pretend that all of my makeup disappeared for some reason. And then I want to share with you all this very small curated little list of what products I would repurchase first to start my collection from scratch. Before we jump in, I just want to say a special welcome to anyone who's new to my channel. Hi, I'm Morgan. I focus a lot of my YouTube content on conscious consumerism and really loving the makeup collection that you own. If that sounds interesting to you, I would love to have you subscribe before you go today. And now let's go ahead and jump into the video. So I've done some minimalist makeup collection types of videos on my channel before. In those videos, I'm really trying to make recommendations about which products I think you should go buy if you're trying to start a makeup collection either from scratch or overhaul a makeup collection or whittle down your collection to just a few items and really have that minimalist aesthetic. This video is a little bit different because rather than making recommendations that I think you all could benefit from having in a very small makeup collection, I'm trying to imagine specifically out of the things that I own, what items I can't picture myself not having. So it's a little less about trying to pick like the items in my collection that I think would work for the largest number of people that I'm recommending them to, and more so about what things really make me feel like me when I put them on my face. So here they are. These are the products I decided I would probably go out and buy first if all of my makeup happened to disappear one day. I probably would not pick out a foundation or a primer right away. I might buy those things like later down the road, like if I had a special occasion coming up or something like that, where I really wanted to elevate my makeup look. I would probably end up picking up some sort of pore filling primer. And then I think I would opt for the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation, but oftentimes I just use a concealer. Like today, I'm not wearing a foundation or anything. I just have a concealer on targeted areas of my face, and I like how this looks on me personally. The concealer that I think would do the best job at all of the kind of responsibilities I'd want it to be covering is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I love how this looks under my eyes, which is where I typically wear concealer on like a regular basis. And this formula in particular, because it is a little higher coverage, also works super well for me to cover blemishes and do spot correcting. I also think that this formula is versatile enough that I could sheer it out across like my whole face and get a relatively even base if I did want that without actually having a foundation. Then, because I have a concealer that I wear underneath of my eyes, and because I have both hollows in my eyes as well as some fine lines underneath, I do like to set that part of my face with a powder, regardless of what's going on like all of the rest of my complexion. And I know that I would immediately run and pick up the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. You get so much powder in here. It's a really affordable powder. And although this is not cruelty-free, I have still not found a cruelty-free alternative to this powder that I think performs as well as this powder does and is on par with this for price. This would be the first powder that I go out and buy because I like it both under my eyes and across the rest of my face. It also adds just the tiniest bit of coverage. So on those days where I'm feeling less confident and I do want a little more coverage, still going with the idea that I don't have a foundation, this can be layered on top of that concealer, and I think I would get a really nice flawless base to begin with without even having a foundation in my collection. The next thing that I know I would pick up is relatively new to my collection, but I've been shocked how often I'm using this product all on its own as an all-over cheek color. This is Balm Desert from The Balm, and it's marketed as a bronzer slash blush, and I would say that's totally true. This is the only thing that's on my cheeks today. I do have a really glowy base, so you're probably seeing a ton of glow, and not all of that is from this. A lot of that is my skincare today, so take that with a grain of salt. And I just think it's such a perfect tone on my skin to be both actually a bronzer and a blush. So I would pick this up first, and then someday I think I'd want a highlighter. Again, this goes back to kind of that conversation of I would be buying this little collection just to replace the things I really, really, really love. And then in the event of some sort of special event, I would go out and probably add a highlighter to this list. I'm not sure which one I would get, and I may not get one. I may instead opt to do something like I've done today, where I just use a really glowy, healthy base and go from there. And that would be it for base and complexion products. Just the concealer, the powder, and then the bronzer blush combo from Balm Desert. And then for eyes, again, I tried to kind of really take a look at what I would truly use often enough to make it worth going out and buying and having as my only few products in my collection. The first thing that sprang to mind for my brows was the Essence Make Me Brow. I absolutely love this brow gel. It's the perfect shade of blonde for me. It's not too warm toned. It's definitely more of like that ashy blonde, which is kind of the color of my hair naturally. Not only does it hold my brows in place really well, which it does, but not only does it do that, it also fills them in pretty well. So I think I could get away with just literally having only this as a brow product for a really long time before I felt the need to have something else to supplement it. For mascara, I'm not the pickiest person when it comes to mascara. As long as it gives me some volume and some length, I'm generally pretty happy. And I think realistically, I would just buy like the quickest, easiest thing to grab when I'm already out shopping for all of these other items. And the mascara that I currently have in my collection that kind of fits that bill and is extremely affordable, which is a plus if you're replacing all of your makeup, is the Essence Volume Stylist Lash Extension Mascara. I do really like this. It gives me more length than volume, but again, volume is really what I'm going for kind of those more special occasions or those more glam eyeshadow looks. Whereas for like an everyday basis, I know that this mascara is just fine and I would be perfectly happy just having this. Eyeshadow is really where I started to go down this like huge rabbit hole of wanting to buy like every palette that I have basically. I generally can be happy with a relatively like low maintenance base, but having versatility in eyeshadows is one thing that makes a really big difference to me when I'm doing my makeup. So it was super hard for me to kind of come up with a strategy or an approach that I would use that I think would actually satisfy me for a very long time before finding the need to like buy more eyeshadow palettes or expanding into different color stories. And the solution I came up with was to use my bronzer, that Balm Desert from the Balm, as kind of my everyday transition crease color, right? So put that in, oh, that's not what I'm wearing today, just a heads up, I'm wearing a different palette. But I would put that in my crease as kind of just like an everyday wash of color. And then I think exclusively for the rest of my eyeshadows, I would buy single pans of eyeshadow and keep them in a magnetic palette like I do with my Sydney Grace singles. Now I do specifically love some of my Sydney Grace shadows, but I would probably do a little more hunting and pecking through multiple different brands to find what I very specifically wanted. However, I'm holding up this palette from Sydney Grace for a reason, and that's because I would absolutely pick up this shade in the corner. It is called Dark Chocolate. Let me just swatch it. Okay, so there's the shade Dark Chocolate, and it kind of mixed a little bit with a shimmer right there, but it is a true matte. And this is just my ideal, perfect, deep brown shade. It's not too cool, not too warm. It's super pigmented and can go extremely deep, but it also blends beautifully. It serves as a great eyeliner, or it gives me a little bit more of a glam look. And then, like I said, I think I would go shopping around for some lid shades that I really love. I definitely would not be able to not have shimmers in my collection, and I do love some of them from Sydney Grace. Like, I do really love the shade Tiara. That's one of my all-time favorite shimmers in my whole collection, so I'd probably buy that. But then there are so many other single shadow brands and indie makeup brands that I've wanted to try for a long time, and I would probably take advantage of the fact that I'm starting with a clean slate to explore some of those and pick out really show-stopping shimmer shadows. So again, apparently we're working in threes today, because just like I had 3 complexion products, I also have 3 eye products. I have the Essence Make Me Brow, the Essence Volume Stylist Mascara, and then I guess this one's not technically one other product, but I would have, you know, one curated palette of eyeshadow singles. Okay, and then ironically, lips are also in a set of 3. I swear I did not do this on purpose. It's just kind of playing out that way. So let me go through each of these lip products because I do have a very specific reason for picking each of them. The first is the NYX Slim Lip Pencil in the shade Nude Pink. This is just my all-time perfect lip liner shade for my lips. It's just a My Lips But Better color. It works flawlessly for me with every lip color I might buy after the fact, so I know this would be a good starting point if I were repurchasing all my makeup. Then I would want a nude lip color. And on myself, I always lean towards nude shades in kind of more sheer formulas. I'm not sure why, and that's actually something I didn't notice about myself until I was going through my collection for this project. It seems like a lot of my favorite nude lip colors are a more sheer formula rather than something a lot more opaque. So my pick for a nude lip color would be the ColourPop Just a Tint in the shade Gimme Some More. It's not too yellow based, but it's still a warm nude shade, and I love that color on me, so I would pick this as kind of an everyday lip color that pairs perfectly with that lip liner. And then for a more opaque, slightly more elevated lip color, I would pick the Real Her Cosmetics moisturizing lipstick in the shade Girl Power. So this is just a really, really perfectly flattering, kind of like deeper mauvey, rosy pink tone, and it's just really, really, really perfect with my complexion. So I know this would be the one that I'd pick as my full color lipstick option to kind of go hand in hand with that more sheer formula from ColourPop. So I would definitely buy all 3 of those right off the bat because I know I would use all 3 of them very, very consistently. And then similar to these other categories where I have kind of that one thing I know I would go buy as soon as I had a special occasion, I know the thing I would go buy right away is the Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Atlantic City. It's just like my perfect red. So as soon as I started to feel bored with my pinky nude lip options, I know that's the first thing I would go for, but it would definitely not be something that I pick up as part of this like starter set. So again, the 3 lip products in my little starter set here are the NYX Slim Lip Pencil in Nude Pink, ColourPop Just a Tint in Gimme Some More, and Real Her Moisturizing Lipstick in Girl Power. And that's it. I would feel really, really super satisfied with that small collection, at least for like a good long while. I think if I strategically picked those eyeshadow colors to give myself some variety in that realm, I really would not need to change up my base or my lip products for a very long time. I hope this was interesting for you to watch. I hope you enjoyed kind of hearing what things I consider sort of indispensable in my makeup collection at this point. And I would love to hear from you all what your favorite things are in your collection that you know you would immediately go out and purchase again if you happen to lose all of your makeup. So let me know in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video today, I would love if you'd give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel before you go today if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.